My name is Jody. I'm originally from South Africa. I run eTEFL online teaching training and have so for the last almost 10 years. In 2 months, it'll be 10 years, November of 2026, along with a bunch of teacher trainers, mentors, coaches, tutors, and we have fine-tuned this machine over the last 10 years. Also TEFL certified, have taught in classrooms and online. So I do know a little bit about what I'm going to discuss here today. So what are we going to discuss in this presentation? We'll cover who can teach English online, what is online English teaching exactly, how much can you earn, what certifications you need to get started, what hardware, what software you need to teach online, your office or workspace, and then of course the process of getting started. So, who can teach English online? That's the first question that everyone can ask. The answer is literally anyone. There are a few caveats. There's a few things you must have. So you must be fluent or have a native level of English. You must enjoy speaking with people, and you must be professional and responsible. Everything else we can help you with. If you don't have those three things, we can't help you with them. That's what you must bring to the table. We will help you with everything else. Teaching English online is basically this, what I'm doing to you right now. I am the teacher, you are the student. I have knowledge that you want, and I'm giving it to you over a video call with sharing my screen and showing you some slides along the way. This is basically exactly what teaching English online is like. It's also a way for you to travel as well. It gives you so much flexibility. You can travel and work at the same time because you can just pack your laptop in your backpack and off you go. You can work from home if that's what you want to do. You can spend more time with your family and your loved ones. The flexibility is really the key to it. Some people will say, though, there's so much freedom. To a degree, you have to work. It is a job. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not for everybody. And you have to come to work at the right hour, the right day, and be there and be on time. So on the inside of what an English lesson will look like, this is from Angus, a screenshot from one of our mentors. So one of the schools he works for is called Engu. You'll notice as you get into the profession that all these schools have very weird names. So basically this is he'll be sharing a screen from the inside, from his teacher portal on his side. And they've got, for example, just some daily news, 3 fun facts about napping. And there's his student camera on as well. You can see over here on the top, see if you can see my mouse. All right. And they're just having a conversation. Most of what online English teaching is, especially if you teach adults, it's just 2 people having a discussion. There's another, let me see if I can find this window quick. All right. I'm just going to share this. There we go. We'll share just this tab then. So on this page, a lot of you signed up to get onto the email list, and I've been emailing you about this through this page. If you're a bit older on the list, then you may have gone through a free course link as well, but we've replaced the free course with this. So I would recommend, and I can share this link with you, it's just a single page that goes over everything and explains everything in just a short format. With a little calculator, you can work out how much you want to earn per month and how long it's going to take you to earn back your investment. But right at the top is a video. I can't play it here on the webinar. The sound is going to be terrible, but I'll just give you the link for you to go watch it. It's a video of 2 lessons with adults and then 1 lesson with a child. All right, so that you can get an idea of what a real online lesson looks like from the inside. It's just a 2-minute video, 2.5 minutes, just with some clips for you to have a look at. All right, back to our presentation. There we go. Okay, back to the presentation. So yeah, that's what you will be doing. Having a discussion. If you're teaching adults, it's just really one-on-one, having a discussion with another adult. It's quite friendly and quite relaxed. When you teach children, for example, then things get a bit more structured because they need the structure, and you'll be doing that normally through online schools. They focus on on the young learners, and they will give you all the materials for it, and they'll teach you how to do it, and they'll give you your students. It's all very, very straightforward, but we'll get to that in a moment. So previously I was just talking about that little calculator. I suppose people want to know how much you can earn. This is a job after all. I've got some screenshots here from some teachers that are teaching English online at the moment. This is through one platform called Preply. Now there's plenty of platforms. iTalk is another one. And then there's online schools as well. But because this is public, I can share it with you. Okay, so take into account that these teachers may be working on other platforms as freelancers and have jobs with online schools as well. So this may not be the only income that they're earning. And that is something that we do recommend as well, which is another thing we'll get to. So Susan from the United Kingdom, she charges 17 euros an hour. Well, not an hour, it's for a 50-minute lesson, has taught 5,800 lessons. And she is, if you can look over here, she's experienced, specializes in fluency and pronunciation. So she's more of a general English teacher talking about pronunciation. So she charges a slightly lower rate than the others that we will see. Ella from Canada, again, just was a TEFL teacher, confident, clear, and fluent, again, working on fluency. So she charges 18 euros an hour. She's done 1,000 lessons. So that's relatively new in comparison to some of the others. Then Nicole from South Africa. So she's Cambridge certified. So she's focusing more on the Cambridge exams, and we can talk about them in a minute as well. So she's charging more, so 26 euros for a 50-minute lesson, and has taught 5,000 lessons. You can go do the maths on your own, 26 times 5,000, how much she's earned so far. And then another example is just Tevin from the United States. He lives in Portugal. So he's also been doing exam prep. So he's an exam prep teacher, the Cambridge exams, the IELTS exams, and he's charging 31 euros for a 50-minute lesson and has taught 4,123 lessons at the time of this screenshot. So this is just a broad swath of people, somebody from South Africa, somebody from the United States, from England, from Canada. But you can go to preply.com and go and search the teachers there and see what they're teaching, what their profiles look like, how much they're charging per hour to get a better idea. But like I said, this may not be their only source of income. So what certifications do you need to teach English online? So first and foremost is your teaching certificate. Your teaching English as a foreign language is the most common one. This is a 120-hour certification, and it is the cornerstone of your training. This is the first thing you have to do. If you already have a TEFL certificate and you're on this call, don't go anywhere. We can talk later. You need to have the skills and training to be able to teach a new language effectively, and your students deserve a teacher who knows their subject. Just like you would look for someone who's certified in whatever freelancer you're looking for, so do they. And the last point there, like no employer or freelance platform will hire you without it. When you do your applications, there's an online application and you have to upload your TEFL certificate. So if you don't have one, you're not going to get very far. Our TEFL department is headed up by Dr. Daniel Portman, who has a doctorate in education. He's from the United States, and he has 25 years of experience of creating courses, teaching students. He is an online English teacher as well, apart from his university job, and he's also been a teacher trainer before. Roxanne Botha is his tutor. She works with him. She is also one of our previous online graduates. She's from eTEFL Online many years ago now, and she has a degree in education. So in the course, just a quick rundown of what you will see. Most TEFL courses will cover at least these 5 things. How to teach a new language, how to teach grammar, speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Just because you can speak a language doesn't mean that you can teach a language. I learned this the hard way when I did my TEFL course, so 15 years ago, all right? How to create effective lesson plans. This is important. You need a plan. Where are you going with this lesson? If you're not prepared, the student can tell. How to test and evaluate your students' progress. Your students want to know if they're getting better. And then they ask you a question and they want to know how their progress is going. You can't just say, oh, you sound better, all right? You need to show them something concrete. How to teach young learners is also one of the modules we have. How to teach online specifically. And one of the newest ones we have that I don't think any other TEFL course provider has at the moment is how to use AI in teaching. We're not going to get away from AI. And this is not how to replace yourself with AI. This is just how to make your life easier using AI, how to use it for lesson prep, for example. You can find an interesting article that you've read. You can put the URL in there and tell it, listen, create a 30-minute lesson plan for an intermediate student, adult, and it'll create it for you in seconds. So would take you at least 30, 40 an hour to create. So it does save you a lot of time. Hardware and software. Now we're getting into the real basics of it. Hardware, you will need a laptop or a desktop computer. Most people on this call, everybody, if you're on the call, you have one of these things. So you'll need an HD webcam. If you have a laptop, that's already integrated. If you have a desktop and you don't have one, you're going to have to get one. At least 1080 pixel. An i5 processor or equivalent. If you're an AMD person, that's a Ryzen 5. Anything with a 5, that's the one you want. At least 2300 gigahertz. 8 gigabytes of RAM. I would have changed this to 16 gigabytes of RAM if the price of RAM wasn't so ridiculously expensive at the moment, ironically because of AI data centers. And a headset with noise cancelling microphone, like the one in the previous picture. This is the Logitech one. Now, as you progress as a teacher, you stop using that really. A lot of seasoned teachers we use our little earphone things that you get with your phone. But when you join a call for an interview with an online school, with an employer, you have to be dressed like that, wearing that headset. Because when you do that application and that interview, you're not interviewing to become an online English teacher. You are an online English teacher, and you're applying for the job, for the position. So you've got to look the part from the beginning. Software. So if you work for an online school, they have their own online classroom software, and every school has something of their own, and they will teach you how to use it and all of that. So you don't have to worry about that. If you work for yourself, then Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, like we're using right now, or ClassIn are very popular video conferencing and teaching platforms. ClassIn is specifically designed for teaching English or teaching online in general. You can teach anything, but it's a teacher-driven platform. And then for your own management, Canva for creating images, Google Docs, Microsoft Excel, similar software, just to help you organize your schedule, students, and classes. Just going to take a little detour now. See a lot of questions coming through. I'm on my own on this presentation. I will get to your questions at the end. So just hang in there. Now, internet connection. You will need a fast, stable internet connection of at least 10 megabits per second download and 5 to 10 upload speeds. We're all in the EU and Europe and UK in general. There's no way you don't have this kind of speed. You probably have 10 times this already. So the faster, the better, obviously, and preferably fiber optic line. When you have an interview, by the way, with an online school over Teams, usually, they used to do it over Skype, which doesn't exist anymore. Now it's Teams. They will test your speeds using speedtest.net. So you can go to this website yourself after the presentation and just go see what speed you have actually, what they've sold you, and if it's really that. And if you live in or plan to travel to a country with unreliable internet, then you should have a backup generator or at least a UPS, an uninterrupted power supply, or Starlink or something like that. Somebody here, I can't remember, Lorena, was in Spain from the UK. So if you're living out in the sticks and your internet isn't great, you will need to upgrade it. So your office or your workspace. I love this photo, but it is not necessary to have a place like that. You don't need a dedicated room or an office to work from. You just need a quiet, well-lit area that's set up for you specifically. If you're teaching young learners, make sure you have a suitable background set up to create a virtual classroom. But with adults, it's not really necessary. My background is fine. I don't know what yours looks like at the moment, but just a plain wall or a window. You saw the shots from the screenshots from the previous teachers where we talked about how much you can earn. That is going to be fine. So, and if you plan on traveling and teaching, you can also look for private offices and co-work spaces. They're found all over the world. All right. That is basically what you need as the entry-level stuff. Now, what sets eTEFL Online apart from anyone else is our mentorship program. Our programs are designed to take you from where you are right now to earning an income as an online English teacher in as short a time as possible. The longer you wait or you struggle to find work after that TEFL course, and until you do, that's all wasted income. That's all lost income, if you think of it like that. So what we do with the mentorship program, it's a 3-week program. It is run up by Zander, Pepe, and Angus, all previous graduates of ours. Zander actually came to me with the idea about 3.5, almost 4 years now. We've been having the mentorship program, that he wasted about 6 months and decided to build this. So together we built this program. Pepe was our first ever graduate from the mentorship program. I'm going to sidetrack and tell you a story about Peppy now, that she had done her TEFL course with another provider and couldn't find work. So she went back to them and they said, no, it's probably because you need to upgrade. And they just upgraded her and upgraded her, and she spent like thousands on courses trying to get a job. Her final attempt was with us. She saw the ad, signed up. Within 2 weeks, she had a job. And that is pretty much the standard. If you can follow the mentorship advice and you do what they say, when they say it, how they say it, there is no reason that you cannot make a living off this. And then Angus as well is another previous graduate of ours and one of our supporting mentors. All of them work online. They're all working online English teachers, and they know exactly what they're talking about. So it's over video call, much like this. You will learn everything you need to be a success as an online English teacher from experienced teacher mentors, including crafting your resume and introduction video. This is not all of it, but these are the key points. Your resume is for online schools. When you apply to an online school, they will read your resume because they're recruiters. Your introduction video is for freelance platforms for your private students, because those people are not going to read your resume. They want to watch a video of a minute and a half to get an idea of who you are. Nailing interviews with confidence. So we'll do interview practice with you. We'll also do mock lesson practice. So mock lesson meaning when you do an interview, if you get to the second stage, you'll have to do a mock lesson. So the interviewer will pretend to be a student, and they'll in advance give you a little thing of instructions on what to prepare, and you will pretend to teach them for 5 minutes so they can get an idea of how you teach and what your style is like, and if you're a good match for the company. We will practice that as well. Finding online teaching jobs. We have a curated list of online schools that we work with. Our mentors are continually finding new schools, applying to them, going through the process, and ultimately many times just saying no thanks, even if they get the job, just to see what the process is like and what is required and who it's best for. And then we have a list that we will share with you during the mentorship on how to get the jobs. And then how to attract, convert, and retain your private students. So when you're on these freelance platforms, you need to stand out from the other teachers. So how do you do that? We'll show you how to set up your profile and how to do your video so that people book that first trial lesson with you. It's a 20-minute trial. And then what do you do in that trial? How do you convert them into paying customers or clients or students, if you will? And then how to keep them coming back, how to retain them. So all the tips and tricks that our mentors have learned over the years. We find the best approach is that you have at least 2 sources of income. You can work for 1 or more online schools at the same time, or 10 online schools if you want, and then freelance websites as well to get your private students. So now, for example, in summertime, all the freelance platforms are very low. All the private students have gone on holiday in Europe, for example. So your freelance side goes down. So if you didn't have those online schools, your income would be quite heavily affected. So it's good to have both things in your pocket. All right, so that's TEFL course, that's mentorship program. Those are the 2 keys. Those are what you're going to get regardless of what package or program or course you sign up for. Those are the 2 things. And then additional, if you haven't got any teaching, tutoring, coaching, mentorship, or any kind of experience like that, even if you did corporate training in your past job, anything like that, then the 30-hour practicum is the thing you need. This is headed up by Adriana and Leo. That is Adriana. She is, if you can see the photo, she is a real nun from Poland, and she is great. And Leo is from England. So they will be walking you through the 30-hour practicum. So you will watch and review recordings of teachers to get into the know of it, to see how they teach and what you would do differently, so you can get an idea of an online class. Prepare a profile and introduction video. This is a different introduction video to the one you will create in the mentorship. It's specific for our partner school. And then you will teach 8 one-hour lessons with real students. So they have all their students coming through, and they have special lessons for our teachers and the students are aware of it, that these are trainee teachers, and you will be supported by the trainers and receive a certificate. So you'll get a certified certificate from us, a CPD accredited one with your 30 credits, and you'll get a certificate of completion from them as well. And then one more thing, the specialist CPD courses. We spoke a little bit earlier about Cambridge, about those 4 teachers. We looked at their screenshots. Some were charging 17, 18, others were charging 26, 31. The more you want to charge, the better you have to use specialize. So if you're coming from a previous background, you've been a doctor or a lawyer or a real estate agent or whatever you're bringing to the table, that English that is specific to your career is a specialist line of English. There are doctors, there are lawyers, and there are real estate agents in Spain, Italy, Germany, wherever they are, that want the English that you have. They don't want general English. They already know that. They want English that's specific to their niche. So if you can bring that to the table, great. If you don't have something to bring, we provide these three options. Of course, Teach Business English is the first one. This is a 30-hour course, and that will show you how to teach more formal English, how to prepare them for interviews, how to prepare them for negotiations, to do presentations, and then, of course, all of the extras that come with it, all of the materials that we provide with the course, the templates that you can use, etc., etc. The IELTS is another 30-hour course. Now, the IELTS and the Cambridge are two English proficiency exams that students take, if you are unaware or unfamiliar with them. So a student wants to go work in the United States or study in Canada or whatever they want to do, just move to another country. They need to prove that they have a certain level of English, and there's some internationally recognized certificates. Two of them are the IELTS and the Cambridge. The IELTS, the students take the exam. It's one exam, and whatever level that they get, whatever result, that's their level. With Cambridge, you have to know your level going in. So that Cambridge is a 60-hour course. It's a bit longer, but this is the one that everybody in Europe does. When I was working in academies, 90% of what I taught was Cambridge preparation. So in this one, we cover the B2, the B1, the B2, and the C1. So that's lower intermediate, intermediate, and upper intermediate, which are the main ones that people take, or advanced. Sorry, the C1 is the advanced. So the student has to know their level before they choose the exam. And so to cover more of those exams, it's just a bigger course that you have to know all three of them. So 60 hours. So if you don't have a niche that you can bring in, you don't have a specialization, then you can choose one of these three courses. All right. At the end, of course, you get accredited certificates. All of our courses are accredited, and you will have a certificate with credits from the CPD. So the process of getting started. There are 5 steps with us, at least. And number 1 is, of course, enroll in one of our online teacher programs. I've got a screenshot over here. Excuse me, it's not the prettiest of screenshots, but it does give you some idea of what we include and what the prices are. Don't worry about these prices at the moment, because I have special prices, obviously, at the end of this webinar. But we have them here in euros if you are in mainland Europe or Ireland. And if you are in the UK, here they are in pounds. So there's 2 programs, really, 140-hour professional and the 200-hour advanced. So there's a little, just down here at the bottom, some bullet points. I hope you can see it. But the professional will include your 120-hour TEFL course that you will need, your 20-hour career mentorship program that makes up 140 hours. You'll have resource library access. So we have a resource library where you can go get free resources to download for your students, done for you lesson plans. There are paid resources as well if you want. Then there's also lifetime support. So we do lifetime support through email and through our WhatsApp group as well. This program does not include the practicum or any of those specialist courses, but that's where the advanced differs. So the advanced adds the 30-hour practicum and a choice of one of the 30-hour specialist CPD courses. Not the Cambridge, unfortunately, but one of the other 2, because this Cambridge, of course, is the 60-hour. So the business English or the IELTS. Both of them are great niches to begin with. Step 2 is to complete your 120-hour TEFL teacher training. That is step 1. Like I said earlier, that's the cornerstone. You're not going to advance any further in any of our programs or in your career unless you have this. And then join the mentorship program. There's a little asterisk there because if you've gone for the advanced, that includes the practicum. We want you to complete the practicum first. First, get your TEFL training and your practicum out of the way. That's your theoretical teacher stuff. Get that done. And then join the mentorship program, which is the non-academic, actual practice, practical resume creation, introduction video, job application side of things. Step 4, start your interviews and set up your profiles after the mentorship. And then step 5, start teaching English online. Got a bit tongue-tied there. So really a 5-step process. I wanted to share with you quickly just some screenshots that I grabbed today off the WhatsApp group. So during the mentorship program, there'll be a dedicated WhatsApp group with just your mentors and whoever is in the group. Leandri over here was just messaged us at 10 to 6. I think it was a Thursday, no, Wednesday, whatever. she got her first request for a trial lesson. And then the next morning, she let us know that previous to that, that she aced the trial lesson and Patrick booked 9 lessons because of the mentorship program. So that's another thing I want to point out. With the freelance side of things, if you say you're charging 25 euros per hour, then you can put together packages, 6 lessons, 9 lessons, 10 lessons, whatever, and you give a discount. But what happens with the student, if you convert that student, they pay in advance for all of that. So if you don't want to charge 25, if you make a 10 package deal for 20 euros an hour, that's 200 euros that you get upfront. All right, so you get, if as a freelancer, all that money comes up front. If you're working for an online school, not only do they pay you less per hour, but you have to wait until the end of the month to get paid. Philip was another one in this group. Also had his first trial lesson. During the lesson, he had internet problems and the wind blew something over. But anyway, due to the mentorship, Xander's presentation, his charm, and an interest in the same industry, the student booked 8 lessons. So both of these were within 2 weeks of getting started. There are another 2 people in this group who disappeared off the face of the earth, and we haven't heard from them since. So these people followed the steps, listened to their mentors, used the momentum of the program, and were teaching English online within 2 weeks. And right, and that is about it, because these are some photos now from our previous graduates or online teachers, just waiting for you there at the bottom. All right, so just to refresh your memory, this is the programs that we offer and the prices that I'm offering today. So the 140-hour professional is usually 490, but for you guys, that's 290 or 390 pounds, which is now 250 pounds. The 200-hour advanced online teacher, this is the one with the practicum and one of those short courses as well, was 590, is now 390, that's 200 euros less. Or 490 pounds, but now 335 pounds. So you're saving around 200 euros or 150 pounds. These programs are not available on the website. So you have to contact me and I will give you the links for them. And as a bonus on this webinar, I'm willing to wait around. If you sign up to any one of these programs while we are still recording and live, I will throw in a bonus Cambridge exam preparation course for free. That is valued at 69 euros or 59 pounds on top of all of that. So if you go for the 100-hour professional, you will get the TEFL, you will get the mentorship, the resources, the lifetime support, and the Cambridge exam preparation course. And if you go for the 200, you will get everything like we had before, the professional, plus the practicum, plus one of the 30-hour courses, the IELTS or business, and the Cambridge exam preparation course as well. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can email me, jody@eteflonline.com. You can WhatsApp me. This number only works for WhatsApp. So if you try to phone it and it doesn't go through, you'll know why. You can phone through WhatsApp. You can take out your phone right now if you're on a computer, if you're watching this, and just screen or just with your camera, scan this QR code and it'll open WhatsApp and we can have a chat right away. I'm going to come back to this in a second. But first, I'm going to ask if anybody has any questions. I believe there are quite a few in the chat. So I'll leave this up here, and then I will go back to the chat section and see if I can answer those. Elizabeth, would I be able to work as an English tutor with a TEFL level 3 TESOL? Yes, TEFL, TESOL, same thing. As long as it's 120 hours. We just had a lady sign up the other day, and she said, no, she already has a TEFL certificate. But when she sent it to us, she had done it, I don't know, I'm going to say 20 years ago in Canada, and it was a 60-hour course, which existed back then, but was not going to be accepted today. So if you've done your course long ago and it's not 120 hours, you'll have to redo it, unfortunately. Lorena just saying here in Spain, the average is 15 an hour, probably around 15. But the more you specialize and the more unique your specialization is, you can charge. There's teachers on Preply, for you can go look yourself, that are charging 70 euros an hour. I know teachers charging 100 euros an hour. What is the difference between eTEFL and the TEFL Academy? From Lorena. Well, 2 different businesses. TEFL is just what the program is called, what the certification is called. And there are 1,000 TEFL course providers. What's the difference between eTEFL and the TEFL Academy is primarily our mentorship and support that comes afterwards. TEFL Academy, great TEFL courses. Nothing wrong with their courses whatsoever. But once you get that certificate, it's out the door with you. Thank you and good luck with your life. And that's it. Whereas with eTEFL, the support ends when you want it to end. Alex wants to be added to the mailing list. Alex, I will send you a link. Elizabeth again wants to know what happens if you already have the 120 hour. We can also just upgrade you to the mentorship program straight away. So that we do have programs there on the website as well. I wasn't really prepared to put them as part of the offering today, but if we chat, I can come up with something for you. And we can keep them until September as well. Lorena can't sign up until September. How much is the mentorship program on its own, and how much is the 30-hour practicum on its own? Well, the mentorship and the practicum go together in the advanced upgrade. So it's basically everything in the advanced I just spoke about, just minus the TEFL course. Alex, if you want to send me a message, you can use my email there, or you can use the WhatsApp. Here comes a WhatsApp right now. Then you can send me your email, and I'll send you all the information that you need. Okay. Let me just okay. Thank you, Lorena. Are there any more questions? Alex, I will have to get back to you, right? Elizabeth, as well, if you can email me. I don't want you guys to be sharing your email or contact details in this chat because everyone can see them. So rather just email me or WhatsApp me there, and then I'll be able to offer you whatever you want. Let's see, you have IELTS certificates as well. All right. So there are upgrade programs, the professional as well at that level and without the TEFL, and then the advanced as well without the TEFL. You're welcome, Antonio. Thanks for joining and for giving us your time. And that was pretty good. 35 minutes, 36 minutes. I hope you guys found this informative. Like I said, this is being recorded anyway, so I will... You're welcome, Janos. So I will send out the recording to everybody anyway, so you can review everything then, and you'll have the contact details in there as well. Plus, I'm emailing you. You can just reply to any email I send.